Flying during the holidays is hard enough. No one should go up to the gate and play the surprise, my airline's out of business game. That's no fun. Spirit Airlines filed bankruptcy twice within a year. Listen, there are a whole bunch of flights scheduled between December 14th and December 20th. I actually have the number here. I've done some research today, which is very odd for me. I don't like to do a bunch of research. But for today, I did a little look-see, and there's 2,710 flights scheduled during this time period. And I'm only saying that, and it's worth paying attention because if you have one of those flights, make a backup plan. Just have a secondary plan. Spirit's in trouble right now, to say the least. One of the busiest travel weekends coming up. There was speculation in the airline industry. I work in that industry, and there's speculation in the industry that they were going to close it this past weekend. They didn't. What I'm saying to you is, with 2,700 flights between now and the end of the year, the likelihood is the door's shut on everything. The planes, everything. And if that happens, you don't want to be standing at the airline gate going, now I got to find another airline. Now, the airlines have all met. They've all discussed what they're going to do to take care of the overflow and the fallout that's going to come from this. And they all have a working plan. So you won't be met with closed arms, and they're not going to look at you like, we didn't see that coming. Nope, they know it's coming. However, maybe if we're planning to book ahead or we see a great deal as we head into Christmas for Spirit miles, let's calm down. If we have any Spirit miles, you better use them as fast as you can or whatever. I'm sure they called them something. But if you got them, use them up because there ain't no telling what's about to happen. And it really sucks for the employees, and I'm not trying to make light of it. Don't get me wrong. But I am saying if you are planning to travel over the next couple of days, just, barring a major cash injection that no one sees coming, Spirit Airlines is likely going to completely go out, at least for a minute. Rebook fast if you can. Avoid any last-minute Spirit Airline deals. And also, if you are going to fly, you get the airline ticket, and you're also automatically entered in the Thoughts and Prayers discussion group on Facebook. So don't worry about that. You'll have a place to go and hope. And hopefully this will be short-lived, or maybe they'll get the cash injection they need for the employees' sake, especially right here at the holidays. But we never should see phrases like court-supervised process during the busiest 2 weeks of travel in 2025 or any year as far as that goes. Now, I didn't think about jumping off of those high bases and base jumping, if you will, with the North Dome over there. And I didn't think about any of that, but a friend of mine, who's now a friend of mine, he moved in, and he's from Utah, and he spent a lot of time doing some of that, and he was explaining to me how it goes. Now, first off, I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie. I don't mind jumping out of planes. That doesn't bother me, and I'd be the kind of idiot that would jump right off the side of the mountain and not think twice, because I don't care. Like I always say, I came here for a good time, not a long time. I like to know that I'm alive. On occasion, I just need to test my own boundaries. I live in a state where you don't have to wear a helmet to ride a motorcycle. Is that smart? No. Are you kidding me? Of course that's not smart. Statistically, you'd be a dumbass to ride without a motorcycle helmet, right? You'd be surprised in the state of Arizona how many people don't wear them. And every once in a while, like I said, you got to test yourself to make sure you're alive. You got to jump out of a plane or do something completely stupid. Every once in a while, I'll ride with no helmet just to prove that I'm still alive. I ain't saying it's smart. I'm saying it happens. I get why people base jump. I get why they climb buildings. I get all of that. I don't love height as much as maybe the next person, so I'm not sure that base jumping's for me. However, I did not realize the severity of the loss. Like, it's a pretty big deal when you jump off of El Capitan or one of those Yosemite iconic rock faces. It's a big deal. Like, they put you in fines first, which won't mean anything the first time. The second time, probably not either. But eventually, it equals jail time, but that eventuality is not terribly far down the road either. The second or third time, you start looking at time, real time. So it's interesting to me, and I didn't know that was such a thing. I did know, and I am looking at some facts here, that a lot of things happen over years from there. Like sometimes they jump and their chutes malfunction. And then unfortunately, that leaves a residue that somebody's got to clean up, and that's not fair either. So I see why folks don't want it and why the crackdown's happening. But again, as I went through it in my head, I'm all for kind of letting people do their thing, right? Because most of the time, they're not jumping off of there and then landing in the interstate. I mean, if things go wrong, it's a pretty quick run, and it ain't going to impact a lot of people. Like, nobody's even going to know it, really. So I'm not sure, as I go through it, Yosemite's saying, listen, we're busy. We ain't got a lot of staff around here. We ain't got time for that. I get that. But there's some pretty big long jail times happening here, like long jail times. And I think it's interesting because in my mind, go back to the same story with me one time. I'm riding down the road on a motorcycle in my upper teens or young 20s where I'm really making bad decisions. At this point, I'm on a Honda 250 Rebel. It was blue. It's kind of sick. And I got it for $1,500 brand new. No, $900 brand new, and I sold it for $1,500. $250. Those things run forever. They weren't terribly fast, but they were fast enough. At about 65, 75 miles an hour, it's going to begin to vibrate just a little. Anything above that, and you're just it's uncomfortable riding. So I might have been going down the interstate. I was going probably 90. Not silly, insane for that bike in that setup. Not a good decision. I was in my teens, so whatever. I'm an idiot. But the police officer that pulled up next to me didn't freak out, throw the lights on, and do what most of them do. He simply, as he looked at me, he pointed. And he basically pointed to pull over. Well, that wasn't a quick process, but I got myself slowed down from the 90 that I was cruising at, knew I was in trouble, and I got off the bike, talked to the man. He got out the car, him and his partner. They didn't even do the whole, let me see your license and all that. He just looked at me, and he said, son, do you know what happens on that little bike at that speed if you hit something or someone else? I thought about it for a second. I said, I hadn't really thought about that. He said, no. So let me tell you, it's probably not going to hurt the other car. They're going to find you in a lot of pieces. If I were you, I'd slow down. He didn't say nothing else. He got back in his car and he left. Now, he could have given me a big old fat ticket, and I was in my teens, so he could have made my life awful. In the state of South Carolina, when you get a couple of tickets, trust me, I know, they give you SR 22, I think it was called back then. It may not be that anymore. But either way, it's like having a drinking and driving infraction. You're paying the same insurance, but I didn't have the drinking and driving infraction. I just had too many tickets for doing stupid stuff. And it was at that moment when I realized racing around speeding on a motorcycle is kind of stupid. So, and, I thought, so now move that on to where we're at with the base jumpers. I don't know. I know party is like, they shouldn't be up there. It's not fair. It's not good, and it's not holy. But we didn't put the rocks there. God did. Speaking of holy, so why can't they jump off of them? If they want to jump off them, they ought to be able to jump off. People die skiing every year, but nobody says shut down all the ski resorts. It ain't the skis' fault. It's not the mountain's fault. All I'm saying is people are going to test their vertical limits. They've been doing it their whole lives. We'll test everything you put in front of us. If it moves, we will race it. If it's high, we're going to jump off it. We will climb it. Those are things that are going to happen. The St. Louis Arch, you don't think some idiots walked across the top of it? Sure, I'm certain of it. You don't think some idiots flown under it in a helicopter? Not only can I say sure, I know one of the dudes that did it, and it was approved. I'm just saying, we will test every limit you put in front of us. Do you not watch the Red Bull channel? Hashtag not an ad. Red Bull, I put that on at work because the stuff those people do, they've lost their minds. I mean, I'm not going all the way up in space just to jump down to say I did it. That's not happening. Listen, I'm all for tempting, but that's some kind of silly. Some of the stuff they do, they dive from like 700,000 feet high. They're basically shaking hands dang near with the good Lord, and they're going to land in a teaspoon of water. I don't understand the crap they do, and I don't trust those people either. They're not from this earth, but they sure are fun to watch. So I don't know if, and what happens when that stuff goes wrong? You just stick your nose in the middle of that. I think we need to back down on this Yosemite thing. If you want to test nature, I say we ain't building the ladder. But if you get up there and you come down faster than you plan to, it's not the fall, it's usually the stop. So listen, that ain't on me. All I could say is if you work over at Yosemite, we keep the parking back a little bit. I mean, maybe we keep the cars back so nobody messes up a good paint job over nothing. Because people are going to try it. People are going to get stupid. People are going to fail. Quit writing rules to chase down every dang little thing. Just let some stuff happen. Sometime you got to thin the herd, as we always used to say back in the day. Let them go. Let them jump. Quit worrying about it. It don't matter. It ain't even no worry no more. And out there in them woods, stuff will take care of itself. You don't think other things have passed out there? You don't got to come pick it up. You ain't got to be the world's greatest pooper scooper. Just let stuff happen. It will just happen natural-like. Then come along, pick up any clothes that are left over. I know it's a morbid thing to think about, but y'all spending all this time worrying, and now they're trying to write new rules and stuff and more fines, $2,000 the first time, community service the second. Y'all just need to quit. Just let some things happen, man. It'll be all right. It ain't on me to police everything. That'd be like me riding out here in Phoenix and trying to stop people from doing wheelies on their motorcycles. Man, I ain't got time for all that. I can't stop them from riding through the campus over there at Tempe on one wheel. And furthermore, why would I want to stop them? That don't bother me. I think they look cool doing it. Why don't I do that? Because I don't know how to do it, for one. I probably do know how to do it, but not to that level. Not to the level where I won't kill myself practicing for a minute, and I'm not willing to do that. So if you're going to do it, I will let you. I will let you do a lot of stuff. See, we let people do things every day like it's just a regular job. I work in the radio industry. You have any idea how far up that tower for radio and television it is? Do you know wasps hang out on those towers? They like that feel, that hums sort of it puts out. So all the way up those stupid towers, you get paid $100 back in the day. Now I don't know what they're getting paid now, but back in the day they were getting paid $100 a foot to climb those things. They're several thousand feet high. Like it is, or a couple thousand feet high. It's not, no, that's not something I'm interested in. And if you wonder how they build those towers, because I always wondered myself, each piece, so it sits down and each piece is smaller and it goes up all the way through. I never thought about that. The whole thing jacked with my brain. I was like, you got to get a crane up there. You're already 2,000 feet higher than you need to be, like in South Carolina up on Caesar's Head. You're way up the mountain. This thing goes all the way halfway to Jesus's neighborhood. And no, I don't want any part of that. But that's just a regular job. You don't think accidents happen? Sure they do. There's light bulbs on those things that have to stay on so that planes don't hit them and helicopters and the light don't bump into them. Plus, I mean, let's face it. If you were an alien, you'd want that consideration. You don't want to bring a very nice spaceship in here. Maybe you just bought a brand new spaceship. Maybe you got one at Space Max. Maybe you were able to get one at a very good deal. And next thing you know, you were like, listen, where are we going to go this year for our vacation? We could go to Mars. We've seen Jupiter. The rings of Saturn are way overrated. What the hell? Let's go spend some time on planet Earth. Now, you'd want that consideration if you were traveling around. We expect other states to do it. At least we could do is give the courtesy to those that are coming from the great beyond. They get here, and at least there's some semblance of order. That way maybe they don't want to take over. That's the problem in the movies. Maybe we didn't extend every courtesy that we could have. Maybe, just maybe, we didn't start this. We started adversarial. We're known to do that, you know. We don't just welcome everything coming and going. No, sir. There's going to have to be a little bit of a struggle. So you think it's going to be different with the aliens? Nope. I think it should be, though. Maybe we should start by offering, maybe we do Alien Friday nights. We're talking about putting a Starbucks on the moon. How do we know what kind of clientele they're going to get? I don't know, and neither do you. Some of them may want a caramel macchiato venti with light sugar or light cream. You don't know what they're going to want. They might like oat milk up there, or they may milk something else. I didn't know when we started milking oats, and I still don't understand almonds either. Who sits around and goes, doop, doop, doop? That's a lot. Like, I don't want to do that. That's not a job for me. My fingers are too fat to go milking almonds. Somebody found the milk in them. And who knows what they're milking and farming up there in Saturn. Maybe they're getting some stuff on board. We don't know yet because we haven't opened the Starbucks. But maybe when we open the Starbucks, maybe somebody comes in from Mars. Maybe they have something else. Maybe we find out that coffee ain't what we like to start with. Maybe Juan Valdez is full of crap. Maybe we send him back to Colombia and he can stay there. We get real, whatever we call it, coming from Mars by way of Starbucks, and we can meet there and pick things up. I'm saying this could be commerce. It doesn't have to start as a fight. We don't have to be in a war. Maybe they have cool stuff that we don't know about. I want to see what kind of spaceships are available at SpaceMax. There may be some good deals. It's end of the year. Nobody wanted to get stuck with a 2024 spaceship. You know, they're crap. The new 2025 models have come out. They probably got a whole round, more lights on the bottom because those are in this year. You know that the flashing lights in the interior, if you don't have LED lights even here on Earth, you're a pile. Nobody wants to ride in that hunk of crap you call a car. So when the spaceships get going, I think they have probably good lights. They've probably been digital dash for a while, though I don't know who's doing their GPS system now that I think about it. Hey, does anybody know anybody over at Garmin? Check with them. Maybe Garmin's doing that GPS, because if we could check with them, maybe we would know. If we knew that they'd mapped out the universe like that. See, we don't know yet. I think it's important that we get the Starbucks on the moon because it gives us a good safe distance, too, to judge what's coming. And you know how the Starbucks employees they'll just be able to send notes to us. The baristas are actually our first level of defense. You don't realize that. That's fact. That's happening right this very minute. I'm actually kind of excited about it because I am a lover, not a fighter. I'm sort of Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney, but I'm the Michael in this one. You may not even remember the song. It was on Thriller. What did he say? I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's what I am here. I'm trying to be a lover. So I'm saying we welcome all folks, and we don't know what we're going to get from Mars. You know what they're doing? Rolex is already using meteorite, all kinds of stuff. You don't think there's going to be one heck of a good market for jewelry coming from Mars rocks right now? Are you kidding me? A nice little bling with the Kardashians will have them first. They'll be on sale in Calabasas. You probably get them in 2027, 2028. They're probably funding the whole Mars thing because they know it's going to do nothing but create a whole new style. Plus, imagine this. Who wants to travel to Starbucks on the moon in the clothes you got now? Nobody. So now the Kardashians, they're going to have Skims, and they're going to have the stuff over in Calabasas, and they're going to open up a space travel department. Now you're going to have special clothes to go to the moon because, you know, you're going to have your own suit, and that's going to be part of your wardrobe, and you'll wear that when you go to get on your space travel to go up there and get you a caramel macchiato on the moon just to say you did it. But hopefully you might run into somebody from Mars. You don't know. You don't know what's going to be in that drive-through line, and that's the beauty of having one on Mars. And I mean, first on the moon, then on Mars. And if you don't like Starbucks prices, well, you're sure as hell going to hate them on the moon. You think they get your name wrong here? They'll get it wrong without gravity next time. I mean, this is the beginning of your woes with Starbucks. You might want to find another place to get your coffee in the morning. That's probably a good idea. Now, what was I even talking about? Oh, my soul. Listen, I'm not saying this is a bad idea. But I am going to say, if I say the phrase luxury theme park in Mexico and you don't panic a little bit, maybe something's wrong with you. Me, I didn't panic at all because I saw the funny in it. All I thought to myself was, are you kidding me? The world's trailer park, and you going to put a theme park in it? We already did that. The U.S.'s trailer park, we got one in Florida already. We've tried that. You want to... The entire world's trailer park? You want to put a theme park in it? It's not even, it gets worser. Yeah, I said worser. It gets worser. Let me tell you where we're going now. We're not just going to call it like Six Flags Over Mexico. Oh, no. This is a 5-star luxury theme park. What? 5-star luxury theme park. Does that mean that when the ride breaks, there's going to be a dude with a tux talking to you about what happened politely while you're upside down on the ride? I mean, what does that mean? 5-star luxury theme. I don't understand any of that at all. They're calling it BON, beauty of nature. Beauty of nature. Mexico. Okay. Again, luxury-focused theme park. I don't know if y'all know this, investors, but just calling it luxury-focused theme park is not going to erase the tequila, the bad decisions, and the human mistakes that are going to calculate and multiply at your theme park. Fancy phrasing ain't going to change that. This is a bad business model. You can... Listen, if you do it in Dubai, only rich people can get to it, or upper middle classers at the very lowest level, right? Here's the problem. We can all get to Mexico, fools. All of us, even people from the South, we can afford to get to Mexico. It's like $20 and you're in. A little bit of tequila, you can get in. You got a you don't even have to have a driver's passport, do you? Can't you just use a driver's license to get out? We don't make stuff hard. We will we'll throw you on a boat, and we will go right on down there and let you La Bamba all night and then bring you back on a boat the next day looking like you La Bamba'd all night. We ain't afraid of letting you to Mexico. I'm telling you, this is problematic. Now, the first year, they're like, listen, we're only going to let our high-end guests use it so they don't have to wait in line. What ifs? Let me tell you what's happening there. That's a soft launch. They know there's going to be some problems. They think they can contain anyone that gets dumped out of the roller coaster quietly by writing them a check. Ain't the way it's going to go. It never goes that way. The problem is everybody's got a cell phone. You can't hide nothing. Come on now. This idea is awful. They're like, well, it'll stop the lines for the rich people. You're better off bouncing some of us poor people off the deck because we have lawyers that are buy here, pay here. They're only taking a cut. Problem with rich people is they have lawyers on retainer. That's where you lose. They'll own Mexico by the end of the weekend. Y'all are making a mistake. You're better off letting us white trash in to bounce off the deck. It's much safer all the way around. Let me look at the footage on this. 2,500 acres, and ain't like nobody's got a car there, so they ain't even worried about parking, man. Don't even worry about that. They're looking at 23 attractions, multiple coasters, immersive theme lands, 25 restaurants, 16 shops, fantasy gardens, land of legends. What could possibly go wrong in Mexico? Of course I'm going. Are you kidding? Of course I'm going. There's no chance I'm missing this redneck spectacle. All of my family's going to be talking about it. They're coming back with misspelled tattoos and everything else. I'm loving all of this. I'm here for it. I one time worked a job in Michigan. I swear to you, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I did not realize how simple a roller coaster was, and I promise you, you won't think about this, but when I spit it out, you're going to be like, you know what? You're right. It is simple. So simple. So they bought a roller coaster, this place in Michigan. I don't even know what it was, but they bought this. It was some kind of park. I don't know. It was permanent too. They weren't traveling with it. They had this old roller coaster, and I mean, it was old. This thing had been around when a Nissan was still a Datsun. It is an old rig. The seats were all rusty. I'm pretty sure there was asbestos in something. But either way, it was sitting there and it looked okay. They'd polished it up. They got it all painted inside. And they were like, you're going to be on the inaugural ride. Thanks for coming, bud. And I'm like, well, I'm excited about this. My first chance to get on, a fair ride that looks like it's been decommissioned. Nothing feels safer. And then I looked at it and I talked to the owner and I said, how's that sucker work? He said, well, most of the time, the ones you see, basically it's just a engine and a belt. And it just rotates, man. It's not that complicated. And I thought about it, and then he showed it to me, and he showed me the belt. And I said, that engine don't look like what I thought it would look like. He said, no, this came out of a Honda Civic. Yeah, that's what I said. The same look you got right now, out of a Honda Civic. What the hell's wrong with you, boy? Yeah. And all it had to do was turn the belt that turned the rod that turned the Ferris wheel, the big wheel with all the seats in it, right? So they got me up there, and they got 15 other people in it, and it wasn't a terribly huge one, and it wasn't terribly high. It was probably, Oh, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 feet high. Not one of these crazy ones. You know, the ones on the Navy Pier in Chicago, that thing is dope. And they moved it. Did they move it to Atlanta? One went to Atlanta. That was fun to play on. No, they moved one over to Branson. That's where they put it, in Branson. And then I could have got that backwards. I think I wrote on that one. But the one in Atlanta is sick too, because you can see so much, because it's kind of downtown and it's got those capsules that are closed in. That is fun times up there, and you feel safe in it for some odd reason. I mean, it's the same principle as the one I was riding on. So I guess they'd been practicing and testing this thing, but I don't know, they put it through paces with weight on it. I don't know exactly what testing it meant either, because as we got up there, I thought about it and I said to myself, it's a 4-cylinder car engine. It's a Honda Civic. Where's the throttle? Is there a cruise control on the Civic? How does it know when to stop? Well, it won't take me but a minute or two to realize it don't. They didn't have a plan. I got on this Ferris wheel. I'm telling you, everybody's up chucking. This thing is going. I don't know how fast they're supposed to go. Whatever. Let's call it 5 miles an hour. This thing was going 25. Everybody got the wrong color. There was 15 media people screaming, ah! It was a touching moment in Michigan history. Not terribly well recorded, because everyone that was recording stuff was on the Ferris wheel. Yeah, the Ferris wheel of death. It took them forever to stop that thing. They're not supposed to go that fast. I don't know how I kept from throwing my groceries. I didn't know. Somehow I got out of that thing. I got out of it alive. And I thought to myself, man, they only paid me $200 to come here. That ain't enough. I deserve more for death. So my point in that is, if you're going to ride a Ferris wheel, make sure you know where the motor is and know how it works at least a little bit. If you get on it and the dude says, who wants to go first? You're on the wrong ride. See, that's the problem. He should have been over on the other one, and now you're screwed, because now you're on the same ride of death that I was on. It was a torture chamber. I still can't imagine us doing this in Mexico. I feel like it's going to go badly, and I feel like it's going to be internationally bad, but I feel like the people that are going to wind up paying for it are not going to be those highfalutin cats from Europe. Nope. Going to be South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, maybe in that order, are going to pay for it. That's who's going to eat this bill. It ain't going to be nobody from L.A. Nope, it's going to be people from the South. And that's unfair, and it's taking advantage of us, I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to be there, because them's my people, and I can't go and be talked about by the rest of my family. Right now, I'm talking about it now, and I promise you there is a trip, and the BON Beauty of Nature 2,500 coastal acre property flag going up, and all of my family right this minute is figuring out how we're going to get there. They're probably saving money right now. My mother is trying to figure out who she can call to get it put on layaway. Yeah, that's how we do where I come from. Don't hate like that. There ain't no reason to be that way.